the name Corpse Paint came about.
For me, it's just like an electric jolt.
The real ugly side of humanity, and their music sounds like it.
I always wanted to be a band that was approachable to people, that was just regular ass people.
Yo, what's up? So before I start this episode, I want to bring up two really good friends of mine that I've met along the way. They've been the backbone and really the biggest supporters of this podcast since day one. Everything visually you see with this podcast has been done by Wither Designs and Benny Bones Art, and it could be your band next. Check them out on social media, get yourself something unique and original, and yeah, let's do this.
We went down to actually to Poland to record it, to film it, with this team called Grupa 13. They've been specializing in music videos lately, and a lot of bands work with them. It feels like they know extreme metal, so it was fantastically smooth to work with them. And yeah, of course, we were like talking about ideas, building some kind of mild version of a story, which they then, of course, took to the lengths that you can see in the video. But yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic to work with them. They kind of knew what we were looking for without us saying so much. Long-time fans, apparently, so that helped, I think, a lot.
So, yeah, when you're working with video and black metal, it has to be on point, or it doesn't seem right. Like that genre in specific, you don't see a lot of music videos, and when they're done, they're either really good or really bad. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What do you think is like a good example of a really good one, and then maybe like a really bad one that kind of went downhill, you think?
Actually, today I saw the new Abbath video.
Okay.
I thought it was cool. I think it was actually released today. I thought it was really cool. I missed the other guy. I mean, there's no band. It's just him in the video. But it was like beautifully made, I think, without being corny. And yeah, I don't know. It's, as you say, it's a thin line to walk when you do a visual black metal video, because, I mean, you don't want to have too much light, too much exposure. I mean, I don't know. It's tricky as fuck. And with bad examples, I think the internet is full of them. Just
that's a good point. I mean,
without having to name calling anyone, you know.
No,
you know them. I think you all know them.
It's just crazy to me how many black metal bands there are. Within the last like couple years, I've just noticed like just the surplus of like one man black metal projects that are around now.
Really, I think it has been. I mean, that's the feeling that I've had since, I don't know, 20 years back, since the internet started to explode. But I mean, that's like fucking 20 years ago now. So I don't know. Maybe it's just more visible now because it's easier with Facebook. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you used to have MySpace, and I remember being like, as you say, like bedroom bands, gazillion, more bands than fans, if you will.
What is like one of your favorite like bedroom bands that you could think of? Like one man just solo going for it projects.
Oh, that's a good question, because bedroom bands usually don't advertise themselves as such.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know. I don't think I can like mention. I don't want to spoil it for anyone either, you know.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with like the topics that I really, really wanted to dive in deep. So do you recall the feeling of recording vocals for the first Dark Funeral record versus the latest one? Like, what differed? Like, do you think that you were a little bit stressed out? The first record you ever did for the band is one of my favorite black metal albums of all time. And I just wanted to know, like, your feeling going into that album with this band being so huge.
No, I mean, to think like that would be to diminish yourself in a way, and I don't believe in that. So, I mean, when I joined the band, the first thing we started to work on was the single, Nail Unto the Cross.
Mm-hmm.
So Arman, he had like the basic idea for the song, and I was actually involved because I wrote the lyrics to it. And me making it my lyrics, of course it immediately becomes my project too, you know. So
Yeah.
I never felt like I'm like the singer singing something that someone else has done. I became a part of it, and like immediately, and of course doing my own thing. No, I was never nervous or anything like that. It's just new situations, sure, and you need to like get used to it and overcome it. But no, I've always felt confident in what I do. So I no, no, I think I'm one of those guys that go full in when I do something. I just do it.
So do you think that band is very like, I'm assuming they're very welcoming for you to feel like that like right away. I mean, what I've learned is like when usually somebody joins a band, they're kind of standoffish and they just kind of roll with it because they've already had albums come out, you know what I mean?
No.
Um but it seemed like you just blended it right in.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I got to know the guys when they were doing the 20th anniversary show in Stockholm, and they invited my band Gra to be the support act for that show.
Oh yeah.
So we were like working side by side in promoting that show too. So I mean, it wasn't like they were strangers when I joined the
Right.
band either, because we had like this kind of time to, I don't know, hang out a bit and talk. So when we were started to talk about me actually joining the band, I think it felt kind of okay. And yeah, I mean, it was like a natural progress going on somehow.
So
But I mean,
would
among
you
friends.
consider Armin to be a friend like before that show?
No, I don't. We didn't know each other. We come from the same part of Sweden, actually. We come from the north, both of us. So we realized that we had shit tons of mutual friends. Like
Oh, okay.
from when he lived there and I lived there after. I'm younger than him. So I lived there like 10 years after he already moved away to Stockholm. So we have a lot of mutual friends there. So I think that also made it a bit easier to connect, you know. We people from the north, we are like more hillbilly, I guess, in a good way. I hope.
Like that kind of makes sense that he picked you then because like I mean, obviously you're talented and all and you're good at what you do, but you know, the personality is something that is super important in in being in a band to just
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
like productive, I guess, and not want to
Yeah, yeah,
kill
yeah.
each other.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And I talk to Arman often. It's not only about music related things. I mean, yeah, we're buddies. I mean, we come from the same region. We speak the same kind of Swedish, if you will.
So, how big of a fan were you, like, of this band before you joined? Or, I mean, were you like a diehard, or were they like kind of on whenever you chose?
No, I don't think I've ever been a diehard fan of too many bands at all, really.
Okay.
I think I heard Dark Funeral the first time when they were on this compilation album, Blackened, I think it was called, back in '95. I don't think Secrets of the Black Arts was even out then. Yeah, I think Open the Gates was on that one, or was it Inside of the Horns? I don't remember. But yeah, I liked them since then, since the early days. So I mean, it's a Swedish band that's been around. Of course,
Right.
you have respect for that.
There's always like a bow. I mean, like there's a few bands around here that are just like super popular, like getting around. Like Midnight, for example, they're like right around the corner from me, and I
Okay.
respect the hell out of them because like I just understand where they're from, you
Mm.
know,
Uh,
like what they've brought up from nothing, you know. Um,
yeah, of course. I think they played with us actually in Germany a couple of years ago. It was us, Venom, Midnight, and a couple more bands. Yeah, they seem to be nice guys.
so would you consider your scene like very supportive of this type of music like right now, or do you think that it's like flatlined with time?
Define scene.
Like the underground scene, like black metal scene, sorry.
I don't know really. I mean, I'm currently in Chile, and here there is also a very active underground scene with shit tons of bands. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, the scene is very much alive. There's a lot of bands going on, and a lot of good up and coming bands from both here and over in Sweden as well. But I don't know. I have never been maybe that much to hang with people. I don't know. I've been doing my own thing in a way, so I haven't really connected that much with people.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I watched that Graw, um, like it was like a live performance.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the one that you were talking about. Maybe I just remember seeing a whole shit ton of people there, like to the point where everybody was like smushed, no
Yeah.
space, and it's just really good to see. Like, I mean, black metal shows around here happen once in a while
Yeah.
in New York near Niagara Falls. And when they do happen, there's like a cult following, but
Okay.
but yeah, they always show up when black metal bands come around. But
Yeah. I mean, of course, it depends on what kind of market you have in your area. I mean, if you have bands playing there for 3 out of 4 weekends in a month, maybe it becomes a bit saturated. I mean,
mhm.
obviously. So it's not that people don't like it, but you have to pick where you put your money in the end. So of course, I think sometimes I have that feeling about Stockholm that it's a bit saturated, and tours come
Okay.
there in weekdays, and it's not the most convenient maybe for everyone. So I don't know. I don't know if we've been lucky with Grau because we seem to have people coming all the time, or maybe we just hold high quality. I don't know, but I really appreciate it though.
So are like what do you think are the similarities of Gra versus Dark Funeral besides like, you know, the black metal being the music?
I think the similarity. Well, I think there are more differences than similarities in a way. But the similarity is that there is like there's an urge to evolve,
Yeah.
to constantly do something new and try not to just repeat yourself from song to song, from album to album. And I think that is something. I don't know. It feels almost old school to be interested in evolution because, in a way, a lot of this whole black metal scene has like, in my opinion, stagnated. It's almost like it's being it's better to play safe than to do something that might end up outside of the borders. And that for me is
Yeah.
something that back in the day, I mean, when you read reviews in magazines, yeah, this is good, but it's not original. I
Okay.
mean, it was a thing to be original. That was the whole point. If you're not original, you're a
What the
copycat.
hell is the point of doing it?
Exactly. Are you a cover band then? I mean, yeah. So it was way
My,
harder in that sense back then. I mean, if you didn't have your own thing, your originality, and I think that has colored people like me and Ariman also, of course, because I think we come from that. If there is no evolution, yeah, it becomes boring quite fast, right?
yeah. Yeah, two good examples is like for me, I love hearing the band like Portal.
Hmm.
Like what's your take on that band?
I only know them by name.
Okay, so they're just like a really, really obscure black metal band, like kind of like a noise project.
Right.
And like they are so out of the box. Even my metal friends are like, I don't even know what's going on with this. Like they're just like wacky. I'm like, what do you mean? Like give it a chance because it's something new.
Mm.
There's just a lot of um black metal in specific that is just straight to its roots and it's good, but sometimes you just got to go outside of the borders to find like the deep cuts.
Yeah, I mean, there is already a battery, or was.
Yeah. I
Nobody's gonna
mean,
do it better ever. Nobody, no, none, zero people are ever gonna do it better than Bathory. So
do
yeah,
you think
do
it
your own
gets
thing.
any more extreme than the bands like Watain or Mayhem where they have pigs or you know they're cutting themselves on stage. Like, do you think that the genre is going to get pushed any harder, like more extreme, where people are going to like lose their mind, or do you think it's kind of topped out?
I mean that those things are not new. I mean, this is, you can go back to the punk scene and you have the same things. Really, I mean the self-harm parts, the animal heads and stuff. I mean those things are not new. I don't know. It's just being
Like, do you think
repeated.
it's like, obviously it's already happened, but do you think that it can get any more like violent without being like a crime?
No, I don't think it's gonna go beyond legal limits of wherever people are. No, I don't see that happening. I mean, eh, if you want to do illegal stuff, maybe doing it on stage is not the best. It's not maybe attention seeking. Nah, no. Do it on
Right.
your free time. Don't get caught.
And that's the thing that I love about, Gra and Dark Funeral is like, I love the fact that like Watain does all this crazy shit with throwing blood at people and like bringing pigs on stage, but like some people are just not into that. Like me, I don't want to be in front of like I don't want to be in front of Eric and have him throw blood at me. Like that's a little bit crazy, but I love their music, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I have full respect for what they're doing. Actually, I mean, I've seen them live a bunch of times. I think it's a fantastic live band, and all the things that they bring onto the stage. I mean, to uh, build these emotions. I think it's awesome. I mean, kudos to that. We
Yeah.
have chosen a different path. That it's as easy as that, really. But I mean, we do have pig heads sometimes, yeah, when we feel like it, and of course, it's about availability too.
Right. I feel, well, I mean, how easy is it, like, for example, like the States, when you come over to the States
Mm-hmm.
to like get the pig heads?
I mean, you have butcher places too, right?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, it's just food
Right.
in the end.
All right. So this seems like a blatantly obvious question, but how has this project affected your outlook on life for the future? Like, do you think of life just like everything going into Dark Funeral, or do you have like not other plans, but is that like your main thing?
Yeah, well, being a musician is my main thing. Yes, with Dark Funeral and with Gra also. We also have a new album coming up, and I'm also working on a solo album. So that's for 2023, I guess. And I released a book last year. I mean,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I'm trying
I
to
have to
stay
check the
creative.
book out.
It's a photo book. I released. I made it during the pandemic, and yeah, I think uh, it was out like last year or something. I don't even remember. This fucking years just mixed together like a mess.
Yeah, it's just a freaking
Yeah,
crazy mess.
yeah, no. So
So
I've tried to be occupied with stuff. So no, I have shit tons of stuff coming up in the future. So just no, I'm not bored. I don't have time to think about so much else right now. Actually,
so are you a like professional photographer then?
no, not at all.
Are
Not
you
by
just
far.
are you like a hobbyist for
Yeah,
that?
yeah, a happy hobbyist, But the
S-
thing is that I, with touring, I get to go to a lot of places.
Mhm.
Uh, that makes it, of course, easier. So I mean, if you just have a camera and the awesome places come just in front of you, I mean, you just have to press the button in the end. So
It takes an eye though, because I am a photographer myself,
all
and
right.
um, I yeah, I see the opportunity for you for sure. I mean, what are some places that you haven't been to that you want to take pictures of?
Ooh, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. I would love to travel around South America more, like Peru, for example, Machu Picchu, and those places. That would be amazing. Mexico, Central America with all the Inca stuff. That would be really, really cool. Uh, yeah, what else? Chinese Wall, I've been to
Yeah,
Asia a
I
bit.
was literally just about to say China. Like,
Yeah, that would be really cool, actually. But yeah, I don't know. Here in Chile, I've been traveling around a bit. It's a fucking gorgeous country. So I've been to
Yeah.
the south to Patagonia, climbed a volcano the other day. It was crazy.
I saw that picture because I just like wanted to like refresh anything that you haven't like I haven't seen. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy hell, like this guy is in like a beautiful place. Like I need to
Yeah.
get out of here.
It's crazy. The thing is that south of Chile is like it resembles so much the north of Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the plants are the same or anything, but it's like I don't know. It's a feeling because you are so fucking far south that it feels like so fucking north. I don't know. It's like the complete opposite end of the world. I've been looking into this a bit with the ice age. Also, I mean, the ice age was global. The ice melted here in the south before it melted in the north, so it has maybe a couple of thousand years of a head start with all the vegetation and volcanoes and everything. I don't know. It's really cool to compare in a way how similar but also different it is.
Now, have you have you recommended any like places to go on tour that Dark Funeral hasn't been that you like just want to go to vacation on?
Well, I try. As I mean, I try to take vacation when we are going. For example, we went to Ukraine and Russia. Of course, I went to Ukraine a couple of days before to go to Chernobyl. I mean, yeah, of course. We played in Japan a couple of years ago, and of course, I stayed in Japan a couple of extra days to just absorb the environment, the surroundings. I would love to
Yeah.
do like an Asian tour. That would be fantastic.
That's good to hear because I mean I've read like books about like, you know, bigger bands where they're just like mules on the road. It seems like where they just like hit every spot and
Yeah.
they get there in the nick of time because it's like an 8-hour drive and they just don't see the places.
I mean, it's
Um,
it's like that a lot. I mean, it is like that a lot. So the trick is to make your little vacation before or after.
right,
So you're kind of stuck with whatever city is the last one on the tour or the first one, of
right.
course. So I mean, it's the same when we toured the States last time. Last show was in LA, so I stayed in LA for a couple extra days to see the city too. Had we
Do you
stayed in
enjoy LA?
yeah, it was cool as far as I've seen it. Yeah, sure. I mean, I see it from a touristic perspective, so yeah, of course. In Sweden, we're fed with with Hollywood basically. So it's like, yeah, okay, this place. I've seen this in a movie.
Yeah. Then now when you went to um when you went to California, did you go on like the strip and all that or did you go on the outskirts?
Oh no. We walked the strip too, and we also I had some time in Vegas too to walk the
Nice.
strip there to see it also. Actually, I don't know if you like Twin Peaks, but the last Twin Peaks season, the third one that it was like a couple of years ago, it takes place in Vegas. So I knew I was gonna go there. So I actually saved a couple of episodes on my laptop to finish it in Vegas. So it's
Nice.
nerdy thing, but it was awesome.
I don't know if you're into like fishing or anything like that, but if you ever get to go back to California, that is like the top thing that I would say. When I went, I did the whole touristy thing
Mm.
and I enjoyed seeing the stuff, but going fishing, like the water is just so beautiful and the fish are just like so exotic out
Yeah,
there.
I can
Like,
imagine. I'm
I
not a
mean,
big fisherman, but sure, I can see the beauty of that. And the same down there in the south of Chile too, in Patagonia. I mean, it's
yeah.
amazing.
So, you know, what's your perspective on um no, I already hit you with that. Sorry. Um so I noticed well, obviously that you play guitar and do vocals in Gra, okay?
Yeah,
Um I'm a guitar player myself and I find that like amazing and like very challenging.
it is.
So how would you say um it is in the way of like difficulties, playing on stage? Like did you have to like build stamina to like do
Yeah.
this? Like, do you
Yeah,
limit
yeah.
the amount of like time you have for sets because of this, or?
No, no, we don't do that. I mean, the whole reason I started doing this was it's like 10 years ago when Gra was an accident. It was just a side project me and the drummer did for to have some kicks, to play something more old school. We were doing this Cursed 13 album, which is more experimental, if you will. So we just wanted to do something basic as fuck. So we did the first Gra EP and it sold well, and labels started to show interest and shit, and we're like, what the fuck is this? So live shows came around the corner, and we're like, how the fuck are we gonna do this? We had another guy to play second guitar, and we had a bass player, so it's like we're one guy short. Can I do this? I don't know. I mean, I never tried, so I was like, what the fuck is, if Dave Mustaine can do that, I mean, I should be able to do at least this,
Yeah.
because those old Gra songs are really, really basic. So I tried, and it was okay. Rehearsals, and hours of just trying to split my brain in half, and yeah, it worked out.
Yeah. Okay.
There are a bunch of Gra songs that I cannot do them. I cannot play them and sing them at the same time. It's just it's just not doable for me. No. But yeah, this has taught me something very important also for that I've been bringing into Dark Funeral, because I came into Dark Funeral as a guy used to play guitar and sing.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't have the guitar. What the fuck am I supposed to do with my hands? And
Yeah, that's a good
yes,
point.
But also being used to the guitar has also taught me to save the energy, because some parts are more heavy to riff heavy. You have to focus more on the playing part. Other parts, it's like a
Like one,
a
you
st-
think
a st-
one suffers? Like say it's a
Uh,
technical riff.
yeah.
you know.
I mean, you need to find a strategy for it. You need to have like a plan how you're gonna do the song, and where am I gonna put more effort, where do I need to step back a bit. And coming into Dark Funeral with that in mind helped me a lot to structurize, because of course the music is faster and there is so much more lyrics,
Yeah.
which was as a complete different from Gra. But having that guitar around my, imaginary guitar around my head, of course I have the infrastructure to strategize my performance,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And that has been very helpful, especially on long sets, when you do an hour and a half gigs and day after day on tour, and maybe you don't get enough sleep and shit, to be able to plan, okay, where am I gonna put, where can I step back a bit, where can I chill a bit, to have that
Yeah.
mindset from the start, instead of just going in and hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, like, for the writing process, I feel like that'd be tricky, because you got to think of it as like a practical thing. Like you're like, this song sounds really good, but am I gonna be able to even play it live? Like, and then maybe does the art suffer? Do you think, or like, how does your mind work in that way with Gra?
No, I don't think. I mean, yeah. As I said, there are songs that I there's no way in hell I can play them.
So you would
and
just choose not to play them, but make them as best as
basically, yeah.
possible.
Okay. Those are just album songs, unless we at some point decide to bring in another guitarist, which we have done from time to time too. And of course that makes the set list a bit different. It does. But with the new album that we're working on now, we had the mindset to be able to play everything live. I mean, we are writing it. The previous albums have been more me writing a song, presenting it to the guys, and then we record
Okay.
it. But this time we have been I've been writing the songs most of the time, but I've been presenting it, and we have rehearsed it before we even think about recording. Which means I already know from the start that I can play this and I can sing this, and if I cannot, I need to find a workaround. That is, of course, everything is a compromise, but sometimes the compromises are better in the end.
Right.
So some things have been improved by that mindset. So the next album is going to be quite fun in that way, because it will be something that we can just rip off on stage, the whole fucking album, in a go. So yeah, that's a big difference, and it's cool to work that way too. It's a challenge.
So with the new band, with Dark Funeral, obviously you're going to be touring a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, if this
Where
fucking pandemic allows.
I'm just saying that because I don't want to like shoot ourselves in the foot by just saying we're not, because I want to go shows. I keep seeing them. I honestly see tours every day, like Suffocations is announced a tour.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you gotta hope for the best, and I think that it is. But where do you land with the whole Gra versus Dark Funeral? Where are you gonna put more energy? I guess what I'm gonna say. Like, is Gra gonna be like a thing where you write on the side when you're on tour, or?
No, I think, I mean, I've been in Dark Funeral for 7 years now, and I think everything has been working fine so far. So I think we'll be just going in that same vein. I mean, with Dark Funeral we book tours usually with quite some time ahead, so there is like a basic schedule structure. And when someone shows interest in booking Gra, well, I will know when it's possible and when it's not, and usually it's adaptable in that way. So it hasn't really ever been colliding, which is in a way quite amazing. But no, it hasn't, and I don't think of it as a problem. I think it's just more awesome shows for me, and doing those different things. It's like I bring stuff from Dark Funeral into Gra and vice versa. It's, I don't know. I see it as just a plus, and I'm always like live ready, if you will, in a good shape.
So there's a lot of like preferences with music. People like composing. Some people like playing shows. What's your take on that? Would you rather play a live? Obviously, black metal is more of an intimate thing, playing live. But I'm just curious, what do you prefer?
Do you mean like live shows versus albums?
Yeah, writing music and then trying to nail tracks, and they're a pain in the ass.
No, I don't know. I think everything, for me, everything is like a piece of the same puzzle. From when you start writing a song, when you get that riff, or maybe you nail that perfect line for that song, in the lyrics, from that point until you're on stage performing it. It's I don't know. It's like a magic to create something from nothing and then deliver it. No, I love the whole process, from the composing, to the recording. I have a blast recording also, and I love being on stage. I love to travel. So now for me, it's like the whole thing. Yeah, those elements are all needed, I think.
Right. So when it comes down to traveling, what do you think is like the one thing you love and you hate about? Obviously, you're going to new places and stuff, but what do you think is like a struggle on the road that maybe people don't know about?
Luggage.
Like the music industry. Luggage? Okay.
And fucking luggage, and check-in queues for luggage.
Yeah.
That's the reason we have to be in the airport like 3 hours before the flight every fucking time, because we have all the luggage and we have to stand in the longest queues ever for those fucking bags every fucking day. No, that is the hassle. I think the constant lack of sleep. When you do, for example, a tour in, let's say, South America, you can't just get on a bus, because I mean it's impossible. The distances are too vast, and there are like mountains in between. So this tour bus touring doesn't work here. So you have to fly every day, and of course you need to take early flights, because venues are usually not in airports. So when you come to a place, you have to travel there, and then you set up, and then you maybe get an hour to sleep in a hotel room. Then you do the show, and then it's past midnight, and then you need to be in the lobby at 6 a.m. to go to the airport again. That part is not my favorite, to be honest.
Okay.
Just this grinding,
Yeah. I've gotten a one-word answer of sleep with a long, silent 30-second pause after that. Just sleep.
Yeah. The lack of sleep is actually that's the worst enemy also for me as a vocalist, I think. If I don't sleep, lyrics blend up in the head, and even like the physical aspect of it doesn't work as well without proper sleep.
Yeah. Now, how do you stay like fit on tour? Do you eat healthy, or do you just like go with the flow, or?
Well, as healthy as possible. I mean, we eat what we're presented with usually.
Okay.
I mean, it's like that. And then you go to an airport and maybe you don't have too many options. It's like you can't really choose all the time. But sure, I mean, when we are in the States, for example, and do the tours with bus and stuff, I mean, I try to take long walks. I try to stay away from the burgers every day,
Yeah. I
even
feel
though
like
it's
that'd make you bloated as a vocalist after doing like an hour-long set.
yeah. No. I mean, all you can do is try, and stay away from alcohol as much as you can. Stay away from cigarettes and shit. The thing is that we're not like 20 anymore, so those things sadly becomes more and more of a necessity to stay in good shape. And yeah,
And I feel like, you bringing up luggage, like all of the like not outfits, but like the armor that basically you would have to send.
yeah.
Like, how do you even package that up? Is it in like those gig boxes, or?
No, we have a bunch of suitcases,
Okay.
but yes, we do have a lot of luggage, and that is partly also, of course, because we have all these things that we need on stage. It's not just guitars.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that would be super stressful. I mean, you can always replace a guitar, but imagine one dude without like an outfit.
Yeah.
Like, it would just look a little bit out there.
Yeah, I mean, then comes, I mean, if that happens, that like the stage clothes disappear in a flight or something, then I mean, it's
Do you ever
even
have a
like
backup plan?
no, but I
Like,
mean, what do we do? I mean, it's you start thinking about even canceling. That's how bad that shit is.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we killed it. Is there anything that you want to promote for Dog Funeral, or obviously you have a new album, but Gra.
Yeah, with Grau, we also have a new album coming up. We changed the record label also last year to Avantgarde, Italian old classic record label. So we're really looking forward to work with them. The drums are recorded, guitars are recorded, bass will be recorded next, and I'm working on to finish the last of the lyrics for the vocals. So hopefully it will be out by second half of this year. And with Dark Funeral, we released the album at March 19 or 18. So yeah, it's gonna be a fucking busy year.
So, you brought up that photo book. Like, how could they find that? What's the best way to support you as an artist? Like that, get the biggest percentage of money like gets to you.
Well, when we sell stuff that we send out ourselves, of course, that's where we have the biggest profit.
Mm-hmm.
To sell through pages and stuff, of course, we get a cut, but the absolutely best way is when we're selling stuff from ourselves. My photo book is I don't have any more copies available right now because I'm not in Sweden. So
Okay.
when I return to Sweden, I will have a bunch again. So I will
Yeah,
let
I'll have
everyone
to
know.
get that when
It's just
when you
about
have it.
stay tuned on social media and write a message when we post something. The best thing is to support us right now is to doing that, to buy straight from the band as much as possible.
Okay. Right on. Is there anything else that you want to add to this?
Nah, I don't know. Have a nice day. Thanks for listening.